You can at least have a little bit of time relaxing now. And with how schooling is going at the moment, is it still the full amount of time, or is it considered? Oh, and 60 rounds in the third? Ooh, no wonder people use it. That's one of the main ground pounders of high-tier Germany. What classes? I mean, that depends. If it's one class an hour, then yeah, you can just go with 5 hours. But that does sound reasonably. That's an advert. Good time to pause. Don't want to listen to an advert, do we? Anyway, I finished. Did I read that one? I have not read this one, okay. What's up, readers? Hello, Gregory. How are you doing today? I need to make sure I catch your next one. I've missed a few of them. I kind of feel bad. Anyway, this one is 2 in the campaign. I wonder, do you feel today as I have felt, since hand in hand we sat down on the grass, to stay in spirit, better through the land, the morn of Rome and May. For me, I touched a thought I knew has tantalized me many times, like turns of thread, the spider's throws mocking across our path, for rhymes to catch and let go. Help me to hold it. First it left the yellowing fennel, run to seed there, branching from the brickwork's cleft. Some old tomb's ruin, yonder weed took up the floating weft, where one small orange cup amused 5 beetles. Blind and green they grope among the honey meal, and last, everywhere on the grassy slope I traced it, hold it fast. The champion, with its endless fleece of feathery creases everywhere, silence and passion, joy and peace. An everlasting wash of air, Rome's ghost since her decease. Such life there, through such lengths of hours, such miracles performed in play, such primal naked forms of flowers, such lifting nature have her way with heaven's looks from its towers. How say you? Let us, oh my dove, let us, unshamed of soul, as earth lies bare to heaven above. How is it under our control to love or not to love? I would that you were all to me, and that you, all to me, you that are just so much, no more, nor yours, nor mine, nor slave, nor free. Where does the fault lie? What's the core of the wound, since wound must be? I would I could adopt your will, See with your eyes and set my heart beating by yours, and drink my fill at your soul springs, your part, my part, in life for good and for good and ill. No, I yearn upwards, touching you close. Sorry, yeah, that is close. It looks like an E, my apologies. Then stand away. I kiss your cheek, catch your soul warmth. I pluck the rose and love it more than tongue can speak. Then the good minute goes. Already how am I so far out that minute? Must I go still like the thistle ball, no bar? Onwards whenever light winds blow, fixed by no friendly star. Just when I seemed about to learn, where is the thread now? Off again, the old trick. Only I discern infinite passion and the pain of infinite hearts that yearn. I will be just one moment. I do apologize. I need to make sure of something quickly. Apologies for the advert.
Meerkat meals, now with 50% off pizzas at Papa John's and Pizza Hut delivery for a whole year, only with the Meerkat app. Wonderful food! Glorious food!
Qualifying purchase, one membership a year, £30 minimum spend. App only, geo restrictions and T's and C's apply.
Right, I do apologize again for that. I hope it did not pick up too much. And I am very glad that you find it soothing. Misconceptions. Moment. This is a spray the bird clung to, making it blossom with pleasure, ere the high tree-top she sprung to, fit for her nest and her treasure. Oh, what I hope beyond measure was the poor sprays, which the flying feet hung so. So to the singing, singled out? So to be singled out, my apologies. Built in and sung to. This is the heart of Queen Lenton, thrilled in a minute errant. Ere the true bosom she bent on, meet the lover's regal Dalmatic. Apologies. Oh, what a fancy. Oh, Lord, it's going to be one of these ones. Ecstatic was the poor heart's ere the wanderer went on. Love to be saved for it, proffered to spend on. Yeah, good lord, that's a short one. Your voice is like sand in a bag going through a grave. Number 72 bus. Oh, I like that. A serenade at the villa. That was I you heard last night, when those rose no moon at all, nor to pierce the stained and tight tent of heaven a plant small. Life was dead, and so was light. Not a twinkle from the fly, not a glimmer from the worm. When the crickets stopped their cry, when the owls forbear a term, you heard music. That was I. Earth turned in her sleep with pain, sultry, surprised for proof. In at heaven and out again, lightning where it broke the roof, blood like some few drops of rain. What they could my words expressed, oh my love, my all, my one, sing helped the verse best, and when singer's best was done, to my lute I left the rest. So war night. So war. Interesting. That is war, but not W-A-R. More W-O-R-E. So as in you were wearing it. So war night. The east was grey, white. The bread-faced hemlock flowers. There would be another day, ere its first of heavy hours found me. I had passed away. What because of all the hopes, words and songs and lute as well, say, this struck you, when life gropes feebly for the path where fell light last on the evening slopes. One friend in the path shall be to secure my steps from wrong, one to count night, day for me, patient through the watches long, serving most with none to see. Never say as something bodes, so the worst has yet a worse. When life hails, knave, double loads better the taskmaster's course than such music on the roads. Hello, my dear guitar. When no moon succeeds the sun, nor can pierce the midnight's tent any star the smallest one, while some drops where lightning went, show the final storm begun. When the firefly hides its spot, when the garden voices fail, in the darkness thick and hot, shall another voice avail? That shape beware there are not. has some plague a long lease, preferring its help uncouth. Can't one even die in peace, as one shuts one's eyes in youth? Is that face the last one sees? Oh, how dark the villa was, windows fast and obdurate. Odd. How the garden grudged my grass where I stood. The iron gate ground its teeth to let me pass. So just due to what I can currently hear, are you not able to hear any background noise? I sincerely hope not, but it's very much getting under my skin. And thank you for the hydrate there, my dear. You just hit me lovely. Then I may be in luck. As I say, I can hear the family downstairs, and it's not quiet, for the politest term. I very much need to not do that. I was just rubbing the top of my head, and I remembered that that's where I was playing with my dog earlier, and she accidentally, obviously, when you're playing with a dog, they tend to get a little bit mouthy and kick up at you as well. And she just caught me with one of her claws. So I have a nice little cut above one of my eyes at the moment. Right, if you lot can only hear me, that makes it much better. It's just me slowly going insane, rather than everyone. Yes, alright. So this next one will be One Way of Love. After this, we may switch to another book. We may go to poems you lot request, or simply readings. I don't much mind. Much not touch. I always like seeing that. Oh, I know, don't worry. One Way of Love. All June I bound the rose in shaves. Now, rose by rose, I strip the leaves and strew them where Pauline may pass. Pauline, sorry. She will not turn aside. Alas, let them lie. Suppose they die. The chance was they might take her eye. How many a month I strove to suit those stubborn fingers to the lute. Today I venture all I know. She will not hear my music. So, break the strings, fold music's wing. Suppose Pauline had bade me sing. My whole life long I learned to love. This hour my utmost art I prove, and speak my passion. Heaven or hell, she will not give me heaven. 'Tis well. Lose who may, I still can say, those who win heaven blessed are they. I always like it when you can actually see the emotion in it. Hold on, what did it censor there? Utmost art. It censored something in there. And it's saying atmos, not utmost. There, okay, uttermost, that's close. Another way of love. Alright. Sorry, it started very similarly to the other. June was not over, though past the full, and the best of her roses had yet to blow, when a man I know, but shall not discover, since ears are dull, and time discloses, turned him and said, with a man's true air, half sighing, a smile in a yawn, as 'twere, if I tire of your June, will she greatly care? Well, dear, indoors with you, true, serene deadness tries a man's temper. What's in the bosom June wears on her bosom? Can it clear scores with you? Sweetness and redness, Edum semper. Go, let me care for it greatly or slightly, if June mends her bowers now. Your hand left unsightly, by plucking their roses, my June will do rightly, and after, for pastime, if June be reflunged. Reflunged? Refulgent. Oh, I don't like that word at all. Refulgent. With flowers in completion. I've tripped. Give me a second. Incompleteness, all petals, no prickles, delicious as trickles of wine poured at mass time, and choose one indulgent to redness and sweetness, or if with experience of man and of spider, June use my June lightning, the strong insect ridder, and step the fresh spinning why June will consider. For the love of everything that is holy. See, now I can see the microphone picking that up. I'm going slightly insane. Hello, Peachy. How are you? Oh, don't worry, you're not interrupting at all. I'm going slightly insane from the living conditions I'm currently in. It's terrific. Anyway, mustn't dilly-dally. That was another way of love. So now to a pretty woman. I'm Peachy. Oh. Oh, Lord. I like that, that's good. A pretty woman. That fawn skin, dappled hair of hers, and blue eyes, dear and dewy, and that infantine fresh air of hers. To think men cannot take you, sweet, and enfold you. Aye, and hold you, and so keep you what they make you sweet. You like us for a glance, you know, for a word's sake, or a sword's sake. All's the same, whate'er the chance, you know. And in turn you make you ours, we say. You and youth too, eyes and mouth too, all the face composed of flowers, we say. All's our own to make the most of, sweet. Sing and say for, watch and pray for, keep a secret, or go boast of, sweet. But for loving why you would not, sweet, though we prayed you, paid you, braid you, in a mortar for you could not, sweet. So we leave the sweet face fondly there, be its beauty, its sole duty. Let all hope of grace bound lie there, beyond lie there. And while the face lies quiet there, who shall wonder that I ponder a conclusion? I will try it there. As why just one? For the love foregone, scout more liking, thunder striking, earth the heaven we looked above for gone. Why with beauty needs there money be? Love with liking, crush the fly king to his gauze, because no honey bee. May not liking be so simple sweet? If love grew there, 'twould undo there all that breaks the cheek to dimples sweet. Is the creature too imperfect, say? Would you mend it, and so end it? Since not all addition perfections, aye. Or is it of its kind, perhaps just perfection, whence rejection of a grace not to its mind, perhaps? Shall we burn up, thread that face at once into tinder, and so hinder sparks from kindling all the place at once? Or else kiss away one's soul on her, your love fiancés, a sick man says, truer than his hot eyes roll on her. Thus the craftsman thinks to grace the rose, pluck a mould flower for the gold flower, use fine things that efface the rose, rosy rubies make its cup more rose, precious materials ape the petals, lest some old king locks it up morose. Then how grace a rose, I know a way. Leave it, rather, must you gather, smell, kiss, wear it, at least throw away, at last throw away. And that is another hydrate. Hello, Ricey, how are you? And the word capture there is doing its best. It's not perfect. Respectability, dear, had the world in its caprice deigned to proclaim. I know you both, have recognized your plighted troth, am sponsor for you, live in peace. How many precise months and years of youth had passed that speed so fast, before we found it out at last, the world and what it fears. How much of priceless life was spent with men that every virtue decks, and women models of their sex, society's true ornament, ere we dared wander nights like this, through wind and rain, and watch the Seine, and feel the benevolent break again, to warmth and light and bliss. I know the world prescribes not love, allows my finger to caress your lips, contour, and downiness. Apologies. Provided it simply a glove, the world's good word, the institute. Curiosity receives Montalembert, Down the court 3 lampons flare. Put forward your best foot. That one is slightly more off. I do apologize that I trip frequently. Oh, excuse me. Many thanks. Love in a life. Again, another extremely short one. We seem to have very short ones for a while. Room after room, I hunt the house through. We inhabit together, heart. Fear nothing for heart. Thou shalt find her next time. Herself, not the trouble behind her. Left in the curtain, the couch's perfume, and she brushed it. The Corinth's wrath blossomed anew. Yon looking glass gleamed at the wave of her feather. Yet the day wears, and the door succeeds door. I try the fresh fortune, range the wide house from the wing to the centre. Still the same chance. She goes out as I enter. Spend my whole day in the quest, who cares? But 'tis twilight, you see, with such suits to explore, sweet. Such closets to search, such alcoves to importune. Oh, that actually is the word. Fair enough. Life in a love. In a love, not I love love. Escape me? Never, beloved. While I am I, and you are you, so long as the world contains us both, me the loving and you the loath, while the one's eludes, most the other pursues. My life is a fault, at least, I fear. It seemed too much like a fate. Indeed, though I do my best, I shall scarce succeed. But what if I fail of my purpose here? It is but to keep the nerves at strain, to dry one's eyes and laugh at a fall, and baffled get up and begin again. So the chance takes up one's life. That's all. While looking but once from your farthmost bound at me so deep in the dust and dark, no sooner the old hope drops to ground than a new one, straight to the self-same mark, I shape me ever removed. I do enjoy these ones. And the wonderful thing is, they are terribly of their time. And that's one of the most endearing things about them. Oh, I absolutely agree. As I say, I'm not entirely sure of when these ones were done, but I'm fairly sure that he passed in, 1860. So I'm assuming these would be around 1830 to 1840. Not in a time, but year. I see those semicolons, not semicolons. Ah, the word escapes me. In 3 days. So, I shall see her in 3 days, and just one night. But nights are short. Then 2 long hours, and that is morn. So now I come, unchanged, unworn. Feel where my life broke off from thine, how fresh the splinters keep and fine. Only a touch and we combine. Too long, this time of year, the days, but nights, at least the nights are short. As night shows where her one moon is, a hand's breadth, a pure light and bliss, so life's night gives my lady birth, and my eyes hold her. What is worth the rest of heaven, the rest of earth? Oh, loaded curls, release your store of warmth and scent, as once before the tingling hair did. Lights and darks outbreaking into fairy sparks, when under curl and curl I peered, after the warmth and scent inside, throw lights and darks, how manifold. The dark inspired, the light controlled, an early art embrowned the gold. What great fear should one say? 3 days that change the world might change as well your fortune, and if joy delays, be happy that no worse befell. What small fear if another says 3 days, and one short night beside may throw no shadow on your ways, but years must teem with change untried, with chance not easily defiled, with an end somewhere undescribed. No fear. Or if a fear be born, this minute it dies out in scorn, fear. I shall see her in 3 days and 1 night. Now the nights are short, then just 2 hours, and that is morn. It's making the laundry much more tolerable. Ah, yeah. I'm glad to make chores less choring. Not touring, I love touring. You know well what I mean. In a year, never any more while I live, need I hope to see his face as before. Once his love grows chill, mine may strive bitterly, we re-embrace, single still. Was it something said, something done, vexed him? Was it touched or heard, turn of head strange? That very way love began, I as little understood love's decay. When I sewed or drew, I recall how he looked as if I sung sweetly too. If I spoke a word first of all, up his cheek and colour sprung, then he heard, sitting by my side, at my feet. So he breathed the air I breathed, satisfied. I, too, at love's brim, touched the sweet. I would die if death bequeathed sweet to him. Speak, I love thee best, he exclaimed. Let thy love my own foretell, I confessed. Clasp my heart on thine, now unblamed, since upon thy soul as well hangeth mine. Was it wrong to own being true? Why should all the giving prove his alone? I had wealth and ease, beauty and youth. Since my lover gave me love, I gave these. Oops. CC is trying his best. Very true it is. That was all I meant, to be just. And the passion I had raised to content. Since he chose to change gold for dust, if I gave him what he praised, was it strange? Would he loved me yet? On and on, while I found some way undreamed, paid my debt, gave more life and more till all gone. He shed smile, she never seemed mine before. What she felt the while must I think? Love's so different with us men. He should smile, dying for my sake. White and pink. Can't we touch these bubbles then? But they break. Dear, the pang is brief. Do thy part, have thy pleasure. Now perplexed grows belief. Well, this cold clay clod was man's heart. Crumble it. And what comes next? Is it God? Yes, I must admit I was thinking that, my dear. It very much is the whole. Ah, night's over too quick, the days are too long. Oh, excuse me, apparently I seem to have forgotten how to drink. It's one of those days. I am definitely going to work on ways to try and isolate my room a touch more to the rest of the house. I know you lot can't hear it, but it's really throwing me off each time. I do apologize again. And PG, you react adorably. Women and roses. It missed the first word, which was women. It missed all of that. Now it's just stopped. There it is. I dream of red rose tree, and which of its rose three is the dearest rose to me? Round and round like a dance of snow in a dazzling drift, as its guardians go, floating the woman faded for ages, sculpted in stone on the poet's page. Then following women fresh and gay, living and loving today. Last, in the rear, flee the multitude of maidens, beauteous unborn, and all, to one cadence, they circle their rose on my rose tree. Dear rose, thy term is reached, thy leaf hangs loose and bleached, bees pass it unimpeached. Stay them, stoop, since I cannot climb you. Great shapes of the antique time, how shall I fix you? Fire you, freeze you, break my heart at your feet to please you. Oh, to possess and be possessed. Hearts that beat 'neath each pallid breast. But once of love, the posy, the passion, drink once and die in vain. The same fashion they circle their rose on my rose tree. Dear rose, thy joys undimmed, thy cup is ruby rimmed, thy cup's heart nectar brimmed. Deep as drops from statue's plinth, the bees sucked in by the... Ooh, that's the word. Hyacinth? Hyacinth. I like that it actually spaces it out like that. That's a bizarre word, though. I don't know how to pronounce that. I lost it where I looked away. Hold on. There. So will I bury me while burning, quench like him at the plunge, my yearning. Eyes in your eyes, lips on your lips. Fold me fast where the sentry slips. Sorry, no. Cincture slips. Interesting. Prison all my soul in eternities of pleasure girdle me once, but no, in their old measure they circle their rose on my rose tree. Dear rose, without a thorn, thy buds the babe unborn, first streak of new morn. Wings land, wings for the cold, the clear. What's the conqueror, what is near? Roses will bloom, nor whence behold sprung from the dust where our own flesh moulders. What shall arrive with the cycle's change? A novel grace and a beauty strange. I will make an eye, be an artist that began her, shaped her to his mind. Alas! In like matter the circle there rose on my rose tree. And we have a bot. I believe I have my thing open. That one. Whip. Begone, bot! And the only one it caught was bots. Oh, you were... I remember when you saw that one. I remember it. I like it. Oh, that's the point. I still need to get my other emote made. Because I'm rather happy that we reached, 15 subscribers last time? Click. Yeah, we're at 15 subscribers at the moment, so we should be able to get a second slot. So, yay! Leg. Now to cut off the blood circulation in the other leg, as to make sure I still have feeling. Oh, it's dreadful, isn't it? That's the point. I wanted to find where is it? Oh, that's allegedly muted. You should be okay. Very well. Before, let them fight it out, friend. Things have gone too far. God must judge the couple. Leave them as they are. Whichever one's the guiltiest to his glory, and whichever one's the guilts with to my story. Why, you should not bid men sunk in such a sloth. Strike no arm out further, strike and stink as now, leaving right and wrong to settle and embroilment, heaven with snaky, hell in torture and entoilment. Who's the culprit of them? How must he conceive? God, the Queen, he capes too, laughing in his sleeve. 'Tis but decent to profess oneself beneath her. Still, one must not be too much in earnest either. Better sin the whole sin, sure that God observes, than go live his life out. Life will not try his nerves. When the sky, which noticed all, makes no disclosure, and the earth keeps up her terrible composure, let him peace at pleasure past the walls of rose, pluck their fruits when grape trees graze him as he goes. For he gains to guess the purpose of the garden, with the sly mute thing beside, there for a warden. What's the leopard dog thing constant on his side? A leer and lie in every eye of its obscure hide. Terribly sorry. When will come an end to all the mock absence, and the prince appear that pays for the misfarcence? Oh, that's it. That's a new one for me. So much for the culprit. Who's the meretried man? Let him bear one stroke more, for be sure he can. He that strove thus evil lump with good to leaven. Let him give his blood at last, and get his heaven. All or nothing, stake it. Trust he God or no. Thus for and no farther. Father, be it so. Now, enough. You. Chicane. Your chicane of product pauses. Sage provisions, sub-interest, and sage tea am I having? This is Tazu tea, and it's apricot and vanilla creme. It's very much the style you leave the tea bag in to add the stronger taste. But yes, I like to have a lot of different teas on tap, quote unquote. So basically I've got an entire cupboard of just so many flavours. It's wonderful. I do actually have one that's very peachy because of my dear fiancée. Sorry, there was something flying. Anyway, without further delay... Yeah, she's absolutely mad on peaches, if you weren't aware. So your little peach emotes get her every single time. Right, where were we? We'd finished that one. After. Take the cloak from his face, and at first let the corpse do its worst. How he lies in his rights of a man, death has done all death can, and absorbed in the new life he leads, he reckons not, he heeds, nor his wrong nor my vengeance both strike on his sense alike, and are lost in the solemn and strange surprise of the change. Ha! What avails death to arise? His offence, my disgrace. I wonder, we were boys as of old, in the field by the fold. His outrage, God's patience, man's scorn, were so easily borne. I stand here now, he lies in his new place. Cover the face. Oh, thank you, Alliant. Music that is. Music that is. It was quiet, I couldn't be sure. But it felt native. Oh, it's absolutely native. Was it that quiet? I do apologise. It was supposed to at least tide over until I returned. Jesus. Yeah, Queens of the Peach Club, I like that. The Guardian Angel. Dear and great angel, wouldst thou only leave that child when thou hast done with him for me? Let me sit all the day here, that when Eve shall find performed thy special ministry, and time come for departure, thou, suspending the flight, mayst see another child for tending, another still to quiet the retrieve. Then I shall feel thee step one step no more, from where thou standest now to where I gaze, and suddenly my head is covered o'er with wings, white above the child who prays. Now on that tomb, and I shall feel thee guarding out of the world for me, discarding you at yon heaven, thy home that waits and opes its door. I would not look up, thither past thy head, because the door opes, like that child I know, for I should have thy gracious face instead, thou bird of God? And wilt thou bend me low like him, and lay, like his, my hands together, and lift them up to pray, and gently tether me, as the lamb there, with thy garments spread? If this was ever granted, I would rest my head beneath thine, while thy healing hands close coveted both my eyes beside thy breast, pressing the brain, which too much thought expands, back to its proper size again, and smoothing, distorting down till every nerve had soothing, and all quiet, happy, and suppressed. How soon all worldly wrong would be repaired. I think how I should view the earth and skies and sea, when once again my brow was bared, after thy healing with such different, oh, world, as God has made it, all is beauty, and knowing this is love, and love is duty. With further may be sought for, what further may be sought for, or declared. It's getting those fun names again. Giorencio drew this angel I saw teach Alfred, my dear friend, that little child to pray, holding the little hands up, each to each, pressed gently, with his own head turned away. Over the earth was so much labour for him, of work to do, though heaven was opening o'er him, and he was left at Fano by the beach. We were at Fano, and 3 times we went to sit and see him in his chapel there, and drink his beauty to our soul's content. My angel with me too, and since I care for dear Gericino's fame, to which in power and glory comes this picture for a dower, this is a long one. Oh, right, no, sorry, that's a sentence that's compressed. Fraught with a pathos so magnificent. Oh, that has. And since he did not work so earnestly at all times, and has else endured some wrong, I took one thought his picture struck from me, and spread it out, translating it to song. My love is here. Where are you, dear old friend? How rolls the Waitro at your world's far end? This is Anacona, yonder is the sea. Oh, you love it when I do that kind of stuff. Memorabilia. Did you once see Shelby Plain? And did he stop and speak to you? And did you speak to him again? How strange it seems. And now, but you were living before that, and you are living after. And the memory I started at, my starting moves, your laughter. I crossed a moor with a name of its own, and a use in the world, no doubt, yet a hand's breadth of it shines alone, mid a blank miles round about. For there I picked up on the heather, and there I put inside my breast a malted feather, an eagle feather. Well, I thought the rest. I'm accidentally going Scottish. I'm gonna quickly mute my phone as well. I just realised I hadn't. Terribly sorry. Airplane mode, the single greatest thing for mobile phones. If you want, I can proper get into these things. Popularity. Stand still, true poet that you are. I know you. Let me try and draw you. Some might you'll fail us when after you rise. Remember one man saw you, knew you, and named a star. My star, God's glowworm, why extend the loving hand of his which leads you, yet locks you safe from end to end of the dark world, unless he needs you, just saves your light to spend. His clenched hand shall enclose at last, I know, and let out all the beauty. My poet holds the future fast, accepts the coming age's duty, their present for their past. This past, that day the earth's fast masters brew shall clear. To God the chalice. The chalice. That's how you spell chalice. Yep, okay. To God the chalice rising, others give best at first, but thou forever settest the table praising, keepest the good wine till now. Meantime I'll draw you as you stand, with few or none to watch and wonder. I'll say a fisher on the sand, by there the old, with ocean plunder, a net full brought to land. Who has not heard how Tyrone shells enclosed the blue, that dye of dyes, whereof one drop worked miraculous, and coloured the estrait's eyes, raw silk the merchant sells. And each bystander of them all could criticize and quote tradition, how depths of blue sublimed some pole, to get which pricked a king's ambition, worth scepter, crown and ball. Yet there's a dye in the rough mesh, the sea has just o'er-whispered, leave whelks, each lips barred dripping fresh, as if they still the water's lisp heard. Through foam the rock weeds thresh, enough to furnish Solomon such hungerings for his cedar house, that when gold robbed he took the throne, in that absence of blue the spouse might swear his presence shone, most like the centre spike of gold which burns deep in the blue bell's womb. What thine, with Ardorn's manifold The bee goes singing to her groom, drunken and overbold. I'm going to let the cat in quick, he's getting antsy. And because of the presence downstairs, I will mute. My apologies. Alright, I hope you have a wonderful night. You're too kind. Yep, he's gonna go check out how I'm trying to keep the noise out. I moved some blankets before the door. Oh, you're hopping up, are you? He's going to sit there, apparently. When? Cat. He likes to join me up here. Stay. Let's pop you down there as well. Mere conscious, not fit for rap or woof, till cunning comes to pound and squeeze, and clarify, refine to proof, the liquor filtering by degrees while the world stands aloft. Get your tail out of my tea. You absolute swine. And there's the exact flasking and fine, and the priced and saleable at last. And hobs, knobs, stocks, and nokes combine to paint the future with the past. Put blue into their line. Hobbs hints blue straight. He turtle eats. Knobs prints blue. Claret crowns his cup. Nokes outdares strokes in azurous feet. Both gorge, who fished the merks up. What porridge had John Keats? You absolute git. Do you not want me reading this to people? I'll put it down. Are you happy now? Eh? He wants all of the attention, all of it, now, everything. He'll be going to the vet on Tuesday to get his lump checked. Just in case anyone was curious. Because he does have a growth on his lower back. You can lay down? Apologies, just a little cat break. Then again, this is ASMR, let's be honest. Not necessarily the wrong place for a happy cat. Get your tail away from the microphone. Don't worry, I didn't see those other attempts. So yeah, that's going to get checked out on Tuesday. Hey, don't you bite at me. Quite alright. You gonna lay down? Hey? You swine. Get off of my books, please. And thank you. Oh no, not on the keyboard either. I'll just hold the back of his head there. Just gently. Where there? Master Hughes of Sagsgoth. Hist but a word, fair and soft. Forth and be judged, Master Hughes. Answer the question I've put you so oft. What do you mean by your mortician's fugus? See, we're alone in the loft. I, the poor organist here, Hughes, the composer of note, dead, though and done. Sorry, What? Stop pressing buttons. Yeah, one moment. Stay there, cat. What am I... I'm holding gum for tea. Move that back. About there. Now to try and keep his head up without letting my finger rest on the button either. Sorry. Dead, though and done. Yeah, it is though and done with. This many a year. Let's have a colloquy. Something to quote. Make the world prick up its ear. See the church empties space. Fast they exhaust the lights. Hello there. Sacristan. 5 minutes grace. Here's the crank pedal once setting to right. Bulks one of holding the bass. See the huge house of the sounds, hushing its hundreds at once. Bids the lost loiterer back to its browns. Oh, you may challenge them, not a response. Get the church saints of their rounds. Saints go their rounds, who shall doubt? March with their moon to admire, up nave, down channel, turn transpit about. Supervise all betwixt pavement and spire, put rats and mice to the rout. Alloys and jarrin, and just order things back to their place. Have a sharp eye lest the candlesticks rust. Rub the church plate, darn the sacrament lace. Clear the desk velvet of dust. Here's your book, younger folks. Shelve. Played I not offhand, and running just now. Your masterpiece, hard number 12. Here's what should strike, could one hand it cunningly help the axe, give it a halve. Half. I think it's half. Ooh. You good, buddy? Yeah. Get your tail out of my face. There we are. He's hopped over to the bed. There. Page after page as I played, every bar rest, where one wipes sweat from one's brow. I looked up and surveyed, oh, the three clavers, yon forest of pipes, whence you still peeped in the shade. Sure you were wishful to speak, you with brow ruled like a score. Yes, and yes, buried in pits of each cheek, like two great braves, as they wrote them of yore. Each side of that bar, your straight beak. Sure you said, good, the mere notes. Still, couldst thou take my intent, know that precede me are company's votes, masters being lauded, and scholastics shant parted the sheep from the goats. Well then, speak up, never flinch, quick air candles a sniff. Burned do you see, to its utmost inch. I believe in you, but that's not enough. Give me conviction a clinch. First you deliver your phrase, nothing promoted, that I see. From pound, sorry. Fit in itself for much blame or much praise. Answer no less, where no answer needs. Terribly sorry. Where no answer needs be. Off start the two of their ways. Straight must a third interpose, volunteer needlessly help in striking a fourth. A fifth thrusts in his nose. So the cries open, the kennels a yelp. Arguments are hot to this close. One distrates, he is candid, two must dissipate. His distin garnished, three helps the couple in ever yet manner did. Four protests, five makes a dart at the thing wished. Back to one goes the gauze banded. One says his say, which a difference more of expanding, explaining, all now is wrangling, abuse, and vociferance. Now there's a truce, all subdued, self-restraining. Five, though stands out, all the stiffer, hence. One is inclusive, corrosive, two retorts, netted, curt, cryptant. Three makes rejoinder, expansive, explosive. Four overbears them all, strident and stepdant. Five, oh, Dandus, oh, Civ. Now they play axes and crossbows. Now they prick pins at a tissue fine as the skein of the cosiest escabans worked on in the bone of a lie. To what issue? Where is one gain at the two bars? Est fego veleventur rata. On we drift, where looms the dim port. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 contribute their quota. Something is gained if one court but the import. Show it us, Hughes of Saxe-Gotha. What with affirming, denying, holding, respiting, subjoining, all's like. It's like, for an instance, I'm trying 3. See our roof. It's glint moulding and grinding. Grinding. Under those spider webs lying. So your fog bradens and thickens, greatens and deepens and lengthens, till one exclaims, "But where's music? The dickens! Blot ye the gold while ye spider web strengthens, blacked to the stations of thickness. I for men's efforts am zealous. Prove me such censorious, unfounded. Seems it surprising a lover grows jealous. Hopes 'twas for something, his organ pipes sounding, organ. Tiring 3 boys at the bellows. Is it a moral of life? Such a web, simple and subtle, weave we on earth, here in important strife, backward and forward, each throwing his shuttle, death ending all with a knife. Over our heads, truth and nature still are life's zigzag and dodges, ins and outs, weaving a new legislate. God's gold just shining its last where that lodges, pulled beneath man's usurpation. Usurpature. I don't know that one. So we are assured, star and rose, cherub and trophy and garland, nothing's grows something which quietly closes, heaven's earest eye not glimpsing of the far land, gets through our comments and clauses. But traditions, inventions, say we make up a vestige. So many men with such various intentions down the past ages must know more than his age. Leave the web all its dimensions. Who thinks Hughes wrote for the deaf, proved a mere mountain in labor? Better submit, try again. What's the clef? Faith, it's no trife for pipe and for tabor. 4 flats, the minor in F. Friend, the ferg, taxes the finger. Learning it once, who would lose it? Yet all the while a misgiver well linger. True's golden o'er us, although we refuse it. Nature throw dust, clouds we fling her. Hughes, I advise, mia piano. Counterpoint glares like a gorgon. Bid 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Clear the arena. Say the word straight. I unstop the full organ. blare out the mode. Palistriva. While in the roof, if I'm right there, lo, you, the wick of the socket. Hello, you Sarcastian, show us a light there. Down in dips, gone like a rocket. What you want to you to come unawares. Sweeping the church. Wait, hold on. That doesn't. What? No, that. I don't like that. Sweeping the church up for first morning prayers, and find a poor devil has ended his cares at the foot of your rotten, runged, rat-riddled stairs. Do I carry the moon in my pocket? Ooh, I need a drink after that one. Ah, that's lovely. Now these ones are romances. Romance. What were these prior ones termed? Kim. We have done a fair few of these while... Oh no. While reading today. But they're all under a subcategory. Also, thank you for the... Oh, right, no, I already read that. Ah, right, yes. I remember Saul. That was a fun one. I liked that one. It was a long one, though. Never mind. Romances. Indent of the French camp. Hydrate is probably a very good idea, and I will do that before I progress. Many thanks. I have a very nice tea. I hope you have something as well. Thank you. It's still nice and warm as well. You know, we French stormed Ratisbonne, a mile or so away. On a little mound Napoleon stood on our stormy day, with neck outthrust, yon fancy how, legs wide, arms locked behind, as if to balance the prone brow, observe with its mind. One moment. Quick. That. I have drink too. Lovely. I do hope it is very tasty. Need to reset things after the cat. There we are. Just as perhaps he mused, my plans that soar to earth may fall. Let once my army leader, Lennis, weaver at yonder wall. Out twixt the battery smokes there flew a rider bound on bound. Bound on bound. Full gallop, nor bridle drew until he reached the mound. Then off there flung in smiling joy, and held himself erect by just his horse mane a boy. You hardly could suspect, so tight he kept his lips compressed, scarce any blood come through. You looked twice ere you saw his breast was all but shot into. Well, cried he, Emperor, by God's grace, we've got you, Ratsibon. the marshal's in the marketplace, and you'll be there soon. Sorry, be there anon. To see your flag bird flap his vans, where I, to heart's desire, perched him. The chief's eyes flashed his plans, soared up again like fire. The chief's eyes flashed, but presently softened itself, as sheathes a film the mother's eagle's eye, when her bruised eaglet breathes. You are wounded. Nay, his soldier's pride, touching to the quick, he said, I'm killed, sire. And his chief beside, smiling, the boy fell dead. I'm also trying to work out how to say your name. I'm assuming it's Zakamos. Hey, Zakamos. Dyslexia is a hell of a thing. But I do hope you are enjoying your listening. This is The Patriot. Also, I've just noticed that romances, so far, entirely seem about war. Yes, I know I've only read the one. The Patriot. One moment, please. There is a good chance I shall have to mute in just a moment. I think we might be safe, though. It was roses, roses all the way, with mithril mixed in the path like mad. The house roofs seemed to have and sway. The church spires oh, for the love of hold on, please. My sincere apologies, I shall take a moment.
Three ingredients, perfectly mixed. The right people. A moment to share. And a glass to raise. Raise a Jemison and join in, wherever you are.
T-10.
How fast could you boost your credit score with new Experian Boost?
6, 5, 4.
Whoa! Boosted already? For the first time ever, you could boost your credit score instantly for free with new Experian Boost. Only at Experian.co.uk. Experian account linked to your current account is required. Score increase subject to status.
I'll just start that last one again because I have no idea where I was. What's the time? It's 11 o'clock. It was roses, roses all the way, with mithril mixed in the path. Like mad, the house roofs seemed to have and sway. The church spires flamed such flags they had a year ago on this very day. The air broke into a mist with bells. The old walls rocked with the crowd and cries. Had I said, "Good folk, mere noise repels, but give me your son from yonder skies," they had answered, "and afterward what else?" Alack, it was I who leaped at the wait. Hold on. Yes, okay. Alack, it was I who leaped at the sun, to give it my loving friend to keep. Naught man could do, have I left undone. And you see my harvest, what I reap. This very day, now a year is run. There's nobody on the housetops now. Just a pulsed few at the windows. For the best of the sight is all allow at the shambles gate, or better yet, by the very scaffold's foot, I trow. I go in the rain, and more than needs a rope cuts both my wrist behind, and I think, by the feel, my forehead bleeds. For they fling whoever has a mind stones at me for my year's misdeeds. Thus I entered, and thus I go. In triumphs people have dropped down dead. Paid by the world, what dost thou owe me? Good might, question now instead. 'Tis God shall repay, I am safer so. I like these are nice. They're depressing as all hell, but I like them. My last Duchess. Duchess, that's the word. That's my last Duchess painted on the wall, looking as if she were alive. I call that piece a wonder now. Fray Pandolf's hands worked busily at day, and there she stands. Will't please you sit and look at her? I said. Herr Pandolf, by design, for never read stranger like you that pictured contents, the depths, the passion of the earnest glance. But to myself they turned, since none puts by the curtain I have drawn for you but I, and seemed as they would ask me if they durst. How such a glance came there, so not the first I you did turn the ask, and ask thus, Sir, 'twas not her husband's presence only called that spot of joy into the Duchess' cheek, perhaps. Fra Pandolf's chanced to say, her mantle laps over my lady's wrist too much. or paint must have hope. True, reproduce the faint half flush, the dice along her throat. Such stuff was courteously, she thought, and ceased enough. For calling up that spot of joy, she had a heart, how shall I say, too soon made glad, too easily impressed. She liked whate'er she looked on, and her looks went everywhere. Sir, 'twas all one, my favour at her breast, the dropping of the daylight in the west, the bow of the cherries some officers full broke in the orchard for her, the white mule she rode with round the terrace, all and each would draw from her alike the approving speech, or blush at least. She thanked men, good, but thanked somehow, I know not how, as if she ranked my gift of a 900 years old name with anybody's gift. Who'd stoop to blame this sort of trifling, even had you skill in speech, which I have not, to make your will quite clear to such an one, and see just this, or that in your disgust me here you miss, or there exceed the mark, and if she let herself be lessened so, nor plainly set her wits to yours, forsooth, and made excuse, and then would be some stooping, and I chose never to stoop. Oh, sir, she smiled, no doubt, where'er I passed her, but who passed without much the same smile? This grew, I gave commands, then all smiles stopped together. There the stands, as if alive. Wilt please you rise? We'll meet the company below them. I repeat, the court your master knows munificence. Your master's known munificence is amply warrant that no just presence of mine for the dowry will be disallowed, through his fair daughter's self, as I avowed at starting is my object. Nay, we'll go together down, sir. Notice Neptune, though, taming a sea-horse, though it rarity which claws an iceberg, cast in bronze for me. I do apologize, but I think I will have to call it there for today. I just don't believe that today is quite right for such readings. I sincerely thank each and every one of you for coming along. I apologize that we end early tonight. Normally we continue until 1 in the morning, which is still approximately 2 hours away. I hope to do better for next week, and I hope to see you all there. And I think I know where I'm going to raid. I will not continue in the same vein with the raid, though, for I am sending you to a friend who I believe needs more around him. He is a truly wonderful fellow, and I hope you give him love and definitely follow him. As I say, he is terrific. He has the biggest heart I've ever seen. He is incredibly generous. But for now, I will run the music and click our ending soon.